where you can, thank you, Saida, where you can share all of your questions and comments and so on. If I can't answer them, then Muteme, our expert on the area, will try to do so. And if he can't, then we will research and do whatever is needed for you to have a clear idea of that inquiry that you may have. Um, so, as I said, maybe we can do a quick round of presentations. I'm going to ask you to share a bit about yourself, to share briefly your name, what motivates you about this program, and very quickly, something positive that recently happened in your life. It can be really something small or big. It can be that you're having a beautiful day, or anything that is making your day really happy right now. So I'm going to open the floor here. Let's try to be concrete in order for all of us to be able to share. Um, so I don't know who wants to start. Maybe Anna. Aber also tell me if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. It's
Anna is
Anna.
fine, yes.
Go ahead,
I'm
Anna.
presenting as Children's Villages Armenia. Been working with SOS since 2018 and starting my work experience here with the U4Use project. That time Aflatun was our co-partner, and together with Aflatun we contextualization of manual curriculum for youth, life skills and employability, and up to now we are working, and thanks to our good relations with Aflatun, and thanks to work experience and good relations with Saida, and involvement and using of curriculum everywhere, trying to adapt it, and we sign MOU, and starting since September we have agreement and MOU for 5 years. So now we can say we are partners. One of my colleagues, Tatu, also trainer of Aflatun. So, and we are, I would like to highlight that we are familiar with social, financial, life skills and employability curriculum.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Anna. And what motivates you about this program? Particularly about this program on cryptocurrency and blockchain? Something
Okay.
that you expect?
I studied for 6 or 8 months Platon School, a digital school, and graduated. And now I'm a master global trainer. And I remember some of the lesson related to this. And when Saida shared this information, our organization, and we've been very interested because of we are working with children, with youth, and we hope that after this training we can use this for our further work in order to protect them and be, as we know, if you are informed, you are safe. So it's better to be informed and using this in our daily life because of life is changing, let's say, every day in this century. So we are very interested on this training here.
Exactly. Thank you, Anna. I'm glad that you're part of the Aflatun network. Thank you for being here. And as you said, right now, there is a lot of information in relation to these topics, right? And our young learners are receiving information from different means. And the importance of this program is for them to get the information they need in order to decide how to use them. We're not promoting the usage of these new technologies. We just want them to be informed. So thank you for highlighting this point that we're going to discuss further during the training. And welcome and nice to meet you. Okay, who wants to go next?
Maybe me.
Go ahead,
Hello
sure.
again. My name is ToT Kamrazyan. I'm Monitoring and Evaluation Advisor of SOS Armenia. As Anna mentioned, I'm familiar with Aflatun, some tools, some topics. About this topic, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
My motivation in this topic, let me say that I'm a beginner in this area. I have some accountants in by Bit in Binance and have some experience. If some years ago, when we was talking about cryptocurrency, we can say that it is about future. But now it is our reality, and my opinion that it is very important for youngsters. And I joined to this meeting to have a more clear information, more professional information, and share this information with youth to give him opportunity to understand what is it and what he can do in this area.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. And thank you for being here. Nice to meet you. Anything positive that recently happened to you that you would like to share? It can be something small, big, that yeah, has made you happy recently. It can be something like I ate something really delicious and that's keeping me going. Would you like to share something? Or you would like to pass?
I think I will pass.
It's valid. Thank you very much, and thank you for being here. Okay, who wants to go next?
Maybe we will finish with Armenia. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone.
For sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Marat. I'm IT manager of SOS Armenia. I'm working 15 years also in organization. I can share one good what happens last week. Yeah, last week I just finished the ISO implementator workshop, and I'm now certificate. I have certificate of ISO standard implementation. That's good for me and for our organization. And the motivation of this to take from this training is like to give easy understanding explanation to others how what is the cryptocurrency and the blockchain. I have some experience to. I think every IT has some experience with cryptocurrencies, but it's different to me to explain others what's it and how it's working.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Thank you very
That's it.
much. And yes, as you said, when you're able to explain it to, that's why they usually suggest this type of exercises of try to explain whatever you're learning to a young learner, to a child, right? And where you're able to do it, that's when you fully understood like the main concept. So we are going to do during the training different exercises that will allow us to explore the concepts, to explore the ideas we have around it, and also to clarify all of the questions that we may have. um, as you said, it's also, since it's new and it's constantly evolving and very rapidly, it's sometimes hard to follow, right? But fortunately, this is going to be a learning space where we can share all of our thoughts around it and start to clarify the main points. So thank you very much for sharing, and congratulations on your implementation. And a quick note, I
Thank you.
love your chair, like the background. I have heard that those chairs are really comfortable, so I'm glad that you're in a very comfortable chair for this
Thank you.
training.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Okay, who else wants to go next? I don't know.
Hi,
Yes, go ahead.
my name is Elnaz. I'm from Iran. Online Institute, one of Aflatun's for um, and for joining this workshop. Actually, I think that this is a new language that we have to learn. And for me, I know very little about it. So I think this is one of the, as others said, this is one of the requirements to talk to children about money and financial matters. So I'm here. And I'm glad that I've started running, one of the best things that happened to me recently. So yeah, this is why I'm happy and full of energy to join this workshop. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elnas, for sharing. And I loved how you highlighting this part of this is a new language, right? Like blockchain, cryptocurrency, like this is a new language that we need to learn. With the complexity it takes learning a new language, right? So thank you for highlighting that, and congratulations on your running skills. It helps a lot to release the stress and to get motivated. So thank you for sharing, and welcome, and thank you for being here. Okay, who wants to go next?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am from Albania, and I'm a senior finance officer and for Third Zone Albania. Uh, I'm happy to be part of this process because I think cryptocurrency and blockchain for me also. I don't have very information on that. It's not that I'm using that, but it allows fast, secure, and borderless without ensure transparency and all these things. So I'm happy to be here, eager to learn from you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here, and nice to meet you, Erbis.
Nice to meet you too, and all you,
Thank you.
all of you.
Okay, who else wants to share?
I can be.
For sure, go ahead.
So hello, my name is Mariam Todua. I'm from Georgia. I'm representative of association at ToT. So this is my first time that I'm representative in Aflaton. Yes, and this is has I don't know. This is a new challenge for me. I like challenges because in this process, the person could be has get more experienced and can gain a lot of knowledge. So, what is the motivation that I like new things to learn, especially nowadays because a lot of technologies, a lot of AI tools, now these blockchains, and this part is very new for me, and I really want to learn this because I'm a worker also, and I'm working with youth, and it will be a great experience to share all these knowledges with the youth. So,
Mm.
and what's happened very nearly in my I graduated just bachelor degrees like last weekend. That's
Thank you very much for sharing. Congratulations. I hope you're still celebrating your graduation. And as you said, it's really important to understand these topics for us, and also to share them with our youth, right? To give them the appropriate information, learning experiences they need in order to take the best decisions. So thank you very much for being here, and nice to meet you, Mariam.
nice.
Okay, who wants to go next? I think Marta, you're missing. Manitza as well. We
Marta, we
can't
cannot
hear.
hear you.
Yeah. We can't hear you.
Oh, let me go first.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Well, hello everyone. I am Manisha. I'm currently intern at the Aflaton International, representing ECA region, and because we have this, during all our trainings, I used to be interpreting from English to Russian and sometimes vice versa, but today it's more of a educatory like purposes because I don't know much about cryptocurrency in general, and because nowadays it's kind of become a hot topic, I would say, in the education sphere, and everybody would like to know what it is and how they can, I would say, earn more money at some point. So just in general, having the idea and learning from expert, as you were saying on Friday, the expert will join us. It will be really beneficial for me as a young girl in the future to know more of this financial terms and economics and stuff. So that's why I've decided to join today.
Thank you very much for being here. It is a pleasure to have you here with us, and that you're learning about this new topic. So welcome. And if you have any questions, any comments, as I said, please feel free to share.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I can see, I don't know, Marta, if you want to try again. Let's see if this is a
Okay.
lucky.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
perfect.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Marta Czerwińska. I'm working in Science for Environment Foundation in Poland. I've been involved in Aflatun program since 2011. So, but however, I must admit that I have absolutely no experience with cryptocurrencies because I don't use it as in my daily life. So I don't have any experience, life experience, and how can I talk about things that I didn't experience by myself. Positive information. Maybe I recently I submit my first ever 2000 peak because I was hiking and in Tatras in Slovakia. So even better, I managed to climb two of them. So it was my first
Wow.
time.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, Marta. Thank you for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing. And also, as you said, the part of having like this hands-on experience in relation to these new technologies, actually, tomorrow, Mutembe, who would join us on day 2 and day 3, he will show us very quickly, like, how does it actually work? Like, if you would like to open a crypto wallet, what do you need to do? So, in order to again, we're not promoting its usage. We're just, this exercise will help us understand like which are the steps that you need to take in order to create an account. So that also will give us a bit of light of the process needed for these new technologies. So thank you very much for sharing and congratulations. Okay, I can see there's someone else joining, connecting the audio. I don't know. If I think it's still connecting. I don't know if you would like to, yeah. So I'm going to start with the presentation, and maybe after that I can do a quick pause in order for you to present yourself. Okay, so as I said, welcome all. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. I know that we're in different time zones from our end. From my end, it's my 6 a.m. So you're my first activity. So I have a lot of energy and I'm happy to be here. And please let me know if I'm talking too fast, if you need a quick break. I mean, we are going to do quick breaks in between. And yeah, if it's too long, we can also shorten the day and maybe cover other like this points tomorrow. So what I want to say is please feel free to share how are you feeling, and how are you feeling with the flow of the presentation, and yeah, we want to make it the very enjoyable for you from your end, or as much as possible, because this is new. Okay, so I'm going to go quickly to the presentation because I want to show you like the agenda of the day. What are we going to cover today? Um, and explain you very briefly how did this project emerged. So very quickly, today I'm going to explain you like why did we created this program. We are going to start diving into like the main concepts, and the first ones we need to understand in order to dive into like this topic fully. So we're going to start talking about cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies. Um, and also, we're going to start talking so mainly about the program and like these two main concepts that are that are like the foundations of the rest. Then on day 2, we're going to do a quick recap with infographics. I'm going to explain further, but these infographics are these additional materials, complementary materials that the program has in order to support the facilitator with visual aids for learners to recap the main ideas for each session. On day 2, we're going to start talking about how cryptocurrencies work. As I said before, like which are the steps needed in order to start using a cryptocurrency. And we're also going to talk about the benefits, risks, and safe adoption of cryptocurrency. On day 3, we're going to talk about the advanced sessions, the advanced topics that this program has. As I said, we're also going to discuss the implementation plans, understanding our learners, which are their needs, their interests, and start discussing how can our learners feel when interacting with this type of topics, with this type of program. We're also going to explore the additional resources that this program has in order to support the facilitators and the learners. So just as a spoiler, this program has, as I said, the infographics, a few videos that can support us. And I'm going to leave it there for the other element to be a surprise and for you to discover it along the way. And on day 3, we're also going to have a specific session on questions and answers. As I said, today it's only going to be me, but tomorrow and on day 3, Muteme, our expert on IT and cryptocurrency and blockchain, will join. So today, as I said, we're going to start discussing blockchain and cryptocurrency. Please feel free to note all of your questions, everything that comes into your mind in relation to these concepts. We are going to have a few moments for you to share those questions, but also if you need to clarify those, we can also continue with those questions on day 2 and day 3 with Mutembe. Okay, so this is the agenda for the training. Now, I would like to explain very quickly how and why we created this program. So as all of you have already mentioned, digital finance is increasingly becoming accessible to young people in a growing number of countries. Our young people are receiving information on digital finance from different means, right? Through Instagram, through TikTok, through television, radio, through different means. And they are receiving a lot of information, and they don't know what type of information is accurate, what is really the reality of these new concepts and how digital finance works. So we have this situation that digital finance is very accessible to young people, and at the same time, digital financial literacy is very low among young people. They don't have the accurate information in order to take the best decisions. So that's why considering like this very emerging need, not only in specific countries, but in all of the regions where we work with, where we have partners. That's why we decided to create a program on cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies for beginners in collaboration with Orca. Orca is I don't know if someone has heard about Orca. Has someone heard about Orca? Okay, so just very quickly, Orca is a company from the US that, in a sense, it trades different types of blockchains, cryptocurrencies, I mean. So they also identify this need of young learners don't have the information they need in order to take the best decisions. So that's why, in collaboration with Aflatun, it's that we created this program for beginners. Okay, so through this program, we aim to increase digital finance literacy among at least 25,000 young people in 6 regions of the world. It's like the first educational program of its kind. This content is available in English, Arabic, French, Spanish, and Vietnamese. And we are in this scale up phase. We're calling it scale up phase 2024 because it started last year, but we are still in this phase, and you're part of this phase in which we're learning about this new program. And the idea is for you to train your facilitators, your team members on this, or train directly young learners. That's also something that we're going to discuss on day 3, depending on the needs and resources of your organization. And so just very briefly, I wanted to present here like the steps that we followed in order to create this program. So it is important to note that we created a needs assessment process where we identified which were the specific needs that we had on this matter. We set up regional coordinator hubs in order to consolidate like this information to identify the needs in order to try to make it universal, right? In a sense, applicable for all of the regions. And that's how we developed a pilot program, which we tested in 3 countries. After this piloting process, we identified like the activities, the topics that were not clear, the flow. We conducted a review in order to make sure we could work and improve whatever was needed. And that's how we, after this piloting process and after this analysis, we created this new crypto and blockchain technologies program for beginners. We don't have like a set age group for this. I mean, it is for around 13, 14 and above, more or less. We don't want to put an age on it because it can also be applicable to an adult like us that we are learning on these new topics, right? So the important thing to note is that in order to take this program, it is important to have financial literacy foundations. So first, it is important to understand basic concepts of financial literacy related to saving, to spending, to budgeting, investment before diving into this program. Just this is important to note. And yeah, after this, well, we have been training different regional coordinators that are part of Aflatun, master trainers, and we have also been conducting questions and answers with our different partners in the region. So we are going to have this training, and at the end, it depends on the plans of your organization, but what we suggest is for you to like dive into that so we're going to have this training, and then the idea is for you to study the program a bit more, to analyze how you're going to implement it in your organization. And our suggestion would be to have a question and answer session with our technical expert, with Mutembe. So once you start discussing this, sometimes other questions emerge. So it is possible to organize this session just to make sure like that some concepts that all of the concepts are clear. This is only if needed. We can discuss it further on day 3, but just for all of you to know that you have the full support of Aflatun on this process. We're not just giving you the program and just leaving you alone on this process. We want you to know that you have our full support in order to roll out this program in your country and in your organization. And also, we also, if you start implementing, we do have a few points that we would like to have information on in order to have registration of what's happening on the different regions. So if possible, we would appreciate also for you to report back to us on the number of participants that receive the program, the number of teachers or facilitators involved in each program cycle. We are also, again, going to follow, Saida will follow up with you, just reminding you like the general information that we would appreciate for you to share with us in order to have registration of how many participants and how many participants we're reaching. Okay, I'm going to move to the next slide, and then I'm going to do a
Maria,
quick pause. Yes.
There's a quick question. So which countries did we pilot the program in?
Salvador, in El Salvador, Latin America. It was also Indonesia, and it was Botswana. There's another one. I'll tell you in a few minutes. I don't recall the third one, but in different parts of the world to make it applicable. Thank you. Okay. So as I said before, this program is for beginners on cryptocurrency and blockchain. This program has 10 core sessions where we are going to start diving into like the main concepts of cryptocurrency and blockchain, and then 3 advanced sessions. Where we talk about NFTs, DeFis, and a bit about additional applications of blockchain. Sometimes we think that blockchain is only applicable for cryptocurrencies, and blockchain technology has like very diverse applications. It can be used for medical usages. It can be used for housing. It can be used for other purposes as well. So in these advanced sessions, we're going to address these points. This program is a facilitator-led program, which means that it is designed in a way that it can uh, support facilitators in the learning process. It supports facilitators on how to provide the session to the young learners. It targets diverse learners. As I said before, it's less focused on age and more on the level of knowledge they have in relation of first they have to have financial literacy foundations, and then they can dive into these new topics. Um, it is designed for a face-to-face implementation, but it can also be adapted. Um, well, I mean, it is designed for face-to-face implementation, but it does have digital resources, and we're going to explore them during the training. We do have videos, as I said before. We do have infographics, visual aids, and also a file of frequently asked questions for you to be ready as facilitator with the frequently asked questions on these topics. This program is designed with the active learning methodology. So in everything from Aflatun's side, in every program we developed, we always integrate this part because we know and there's scientific evidence on it that we learn through when we are through intellectual movement and physical movement, and by integrating this intellectual and physical movement in the different stages of the learning. So that's why this program, we are addressing like very technical topics, but with the Aflatun style, I would say. I mean, doing it with active learning, with different activities that will allow the participants to question themselves, to compare, to represent that new concept through different means. So as I said, as a trainer also, if you're also going to roll out this program, it is very important, or if you're going to train your team members on this program, first we need to ensure that they have experience in active learning methods and on teaching social financial education. So these are the basics, and then we can dive into like this more complex topics. And for the learners, as I said before, it is important for them to have knowledge on social and financial education, and also for them to have any type. I would say any because it depends on the organization, but for the learners to have certain type of experience with Aflatun programs. So maybe they have taken Afla ToT now because it's for young learners, but Afla Youth or Afla Teen specific sessions. So this would also help them to be familiarized with the way Aflatun works and with financial literacy. Um, So here we have the topics that we address through the program. As I said before, the first 10 are like very like the core topics of this program. We talk about blockchain, about cryptocurrency, about the impact of cryptocurrency in the financial landscape. We talk about the benefits and risks that is really important to be aware of the risks related to these new technologies. And then we talk about strategies in order to stay safe when we're using these new technologies. Um, we do on session 9, for example, a debate where they start consolidating all of the learnings that they have already acquired in the previous sessions. On session 10, we do a final recap, and then session 11, 12, and 13 are the advanced sessions. As I said, we're going to talk about DeFi, NFTs, and blockchain applications beyond cryptocurrencies. Okay, until here, is there any question? Any comment? Okay. How are you feeling in relation to this program? In looking at the content, I don't know if you can share through an emoji. How are you feeling? Like with a lot of energy, or you're like, oh, surprise, what's this? I don't know if you could share with me an emoji of how you're feeling after looking at the content and the program, like the program overview. Okay, hearts, what else? You can be completely honest. Okay, a lot of hearts. Okay. And what about the others? Okay.
Looking forward,
Marta is surprised. Anna?
looking forward to learn about the benefits and risks of cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
interesting topics.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anna. So just a very quick question. Who has already read a bit about this program? Who has already explored a bit the sessions belonging to this program? If you have, raise your hand or just share a quick emoji with me. Who has already dived into the program? Okay. Mariam, you're saying that you did, right? Because that's a cross, so I don't know if it means that you do.
No,
Marta,
I
you
didn't.
didn't.
No, I didn't.
Okay, okay. So no one, okay, so what I understand is that no one has already started exploring the program. Is that right? Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is Saida, I don't know if you could share with them through a quick email the link to the program as well, because we're going to start like the we're going to do different activities where we're going to start exploring a few sessions.
We,
Um,
we can start, maybe post the link here on the chat if they can access it. And then via email, we can share also after the
afterwards.
training. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, yeah, that's perfect. I think that's easier. Let me just very quickly share it with you through the chat. Um, and yeah, because we're going to use it in the next not in the next activity, but today. Okay, so just give me one sec. Let me just open. Okay. Okay. Just give me one sec. Okay. So I have already shared the program. Please let me know if you can access it. And we're going to go back to the presentation. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so in order to start talking about blockchain and cryptocurrency, it is important to first talk about money, right? So how and where did money start? What did like mainly, I'm sorry, I was going to ask you another question. I was going to ask you mainly what are the purposes of money? What is the purpose of money? right? What it's its function. Because if we understand money, then we understand cryptocurrency, which is a type of digital. It's a digital currency. So I'm going to share with you through the chat a Padlet link where I want to ask you to reflect and answer the following questions. How and where did money start? What did people use before paper money? Um, the yeah, what did people use before that? And what do you think money will look like in 10 or 15 years? So I'm going to give you the link. I'm going to share it to you through the chat. And I'm going to give you a few minutes for you to answer these questions. Is there any question on what we're going to do right now? No?
No,
We're ready?
yeah.
We're ready for the first activity? Okay, so here's the link to the Padlet. And let me know if you can access. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen very quickly. Okay, so how and where did money start? Maybe from Greece, we have here. Money that has value in itself, like gold, silver, or salt. We started with the barter system and when people needed to exchange goods. Okay, so money started with the bartering system. We're going to look at it in a few minutes, but where people exchanged their goods what they had for another one. So they had, I don't know, let's say chickens and milk, and they exchanged this, and then it started evolving into shells, uh, different not pearls, but different like natural elements that they had, and they started using these natural elements such as shells in order as a sort of a payment, right, for what they needed, and it started evolving. We're going to look at it in a few minutes. Um, okay, what did people use before paper money? We have here salt, bread, and gold. They exchange other goods, salt, barter. Before money, there were exchanging some products. Okay, what else? After the bartering system, how do you think we already mentioned that they started using natural elements such as shells, such as different beads? Then they they evolved into gold. They started using gold, but the gold was really heavy in order to use it in different places and to move around. So it started evolving. Okay. What else? After this, what do you think people used? Okay, let me charge here the Padlet. Okay. Then we have the other question here that it says, what do you think money will look like in 10 to 15 years? Here we have Anna. It will be only digital money, the bank balances, mobile money, and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. We're only going to have credits. Crypto money will become purely digital. There will be a digital money. There will be a digital money with no paper. Crypto, different kinds of digital money, including mobile app and crypto. Okay, so the vision for the future is that everything will be digital. Okay, so thank you very much for sharing. I don't know if anyone wants to share any point, any thought that you have on this. Okay. If you can, I know that everyone is in different places of their houses or of the office. But if you can put the camera, that would be great in order to see each other during this activities. I know that sometimes it's not possible, but if it is, we would appreciate it. Just as a quick note, I shared another link because I realized that I shared the training manual and not the booklet. So you already have the booklet, which is the content itself. And the first link that I shared is the training activities in order to deliver the training, just as a quick note. Okay, so as I said before, this program has different videos that complement what we dive into through this program. So we're going to look at this video very quickly that explains the evolution of money. Because as I said before, in order to understand cryptocurrency and blockchain, it is important to understand what is money, what and what functions does money have. So I'm going to share very quickly. Just give me one sec.
Evolution of money. What do we know about money? Everyone wants money and we use it every day. But what is it exactly? To find out, let's take a look at its evolution throughout history. The origins of money are in the barter system. To get goods or services, people exchange their resources for mutual benefit. So, for example, people traded salt or rice for other commodities like metals or weapons. They also used cattle as payment. But later, with the progress of human civilization, people started to use gold and metal coins as a widely accepted medium of exchange. So, through these first coins, people bought what they needed and buyers and sellers were connected. Therefore, to the question of what is money, the answer is simple. Anything that people use to buy goods and services. Over time, people started to use the popular paper money, also called fiat money, which is issued by governments and produced by central banks as currency notes. Dollars, dinars, pounds, and euros are some examples of fiat money. This money, however, sometimes leads to inflation, which is an increase in prices due to an expansion of the total amount of money. From paper money, we moved on to plastic cards. Bank cards have changed the way we live and consume, removing the need to carry cash for transactions. And thanks to the digital age, it is becoming more and more common to use electronic money in most parts of the world. Finally, the last great transformation in the way we use money are cryptocurrencies that have brought about a big revolution, changing the rules of the economy. But the truth is that whatever form money takes, its function has always been the same: to store value and to be used for exchange.
Okay. Anna, you're asking about the video. The videos are in the program that I shared in the booklet. You can find a QR that gives you access to the videos, but we can also share it after the training for you to have it. But this is complementary material that we can use during the training. So as we were discussing, and as also like the video explains, money has main functions, and its main function is it stores value, right? It keeps it allows like the value to stay, no, even if we start moving forward, that value stays there, right? So I don't know if I was clear with this, but going to clarify it. So it stores value. It is a unit of account, and it is a means in order to exchange goods and services, right? So these are the main functions of money. And these main functions, even looking at the evolution of money, even in different forms of money, even in the bartering system, when human beings were using shells and other elements to as a payment, as a means of payment, or when were using paper money, like when we started using paper money, all of these forms have these main functions. It is a unit of account. It is a medium of exchange. It is a medium to pay for services and goods, and it stores value, which means that this value is agreed upon the members, and it doesn't change, right? It, it has its value on itself. Um, I mean, it can change, as this video explains, with when we have fiat money, which we are going to explain it and discuss it further in a few minutes. The difference between fiat money and cryptocurrencies, which are not part of fiat money. When we do have fiat money, we can have this type of inflation, and because it can rise, it depends on, yeah, on the value that the government gives to that money. So we're going to explain it in a few minutes. But before we do, I want to do a quick pause. I don't know if there is any question, any comment about this.
Did you check all the QR codes in the booklet? Because I'm trying to use that one on the page number 10 and I cannot open it. And
Yeah,
I don't
me
know.
too. Me too. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take note of that, and I'll check and let you know.
Okay.
Thank you, Marta. Just give me one sec. Okay, we're going to go back to the PPT. And just as a note, Marta, just to respond to your question, we did the piloting with Botswana, El Salvador, and Vietnam, just for all of you to know. Okay, so we're going to go back to the PPT, and we're going to start discussing a bit about the difference, as I said, between fiat money and digital currency. So I'm going to ask you to think, how would you define fiat money and digital currency? Because as I said, as we looked at the video, we started evolving from fiat money and then to digital currency. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to think of the ideas you have around these two concepts. And if you can share your points through the chat.
Could you please repeat the question? Thank you.
Yes, Anna. So in order to dive into right now into cryptocurrency and blockchain, first we want to define what is fiat money and what is digital currency. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to start thinking on the ideas you have around these two concepts. Okay, Marta is sharing here. You can touch fiat money. Fiat is controlled by government. Crypto is not under control yet. Exactly. What else? What else? Okay, money is controlled by central banks and governments. And Bitcoin by one, it's decentralized. So fiat money is controlled by central banks and by governments, and and Bitcoin, which is a type of cryptocurrency, is decentralized, which means it's not controlled uh, uh, by any institution or any user. It's completely decentralized. Okay. Marta, you're thinking fiat money in a sense it's legal money because it is controlled by the government, right? Yeah. Okay, what else? Anything else you would like to note? Okay, I'm going to go back to the PPT. Just give me one sec. And crypto is not issued or controlled by any central authority. Exactly. So I'm going to go back to the PPT here. Okay. Okay. So as you have shared through the chat, fiat money is government issued currency that is not backed up by a physical commodity such as gold or silver, but rather by the government that issued it. So fiat money is money that is issued by the government or a central authority. Digital currency, in the other hand, which cryptocurrency, it's a type of digital currency. Digital currency, it's a particular form of electronically transferred and stored currency. For example, plastic cards or cell phones used to pay for goods and services. I'm sorry, here there's so the fiat money is issued by the government, and digital currency is a particular form of electronically transferred and stored currency. Okay, so here we're talking about plastic cards, cell phones, and other services used to pay for goods and services. Cryptocurrency, it's a type of digital currency, but it is not fiat money because, as you have already explained, it is not controlled by the government or a central authority. It is completely decentralized. Okay. Um, Here we have Anna, you're sharing. It is borderless. We can send Bitcoin anywhere in the world. It is fast. This is in a sense an advantage of cryptocurrency, which we're going to dive into on day 2. So it is important to differentiate and to have clarity that cryptocurrency is not fiat because it is not issued by a government, but it is part of it is a form of digital currency, but it is not fiat. So here, for example, what we have, plastic card, when we use plastic cards or our cell phones, and when they are related to and connected to our bank account, this is still fiat money because it is issued and controlled by the government. But cryptocurrency has some components of digital currency because it is completely digital, but it is not fiat. Okay, I don't know if this is clear, if there is any question on it. Okay. Is there any question in relation to this? No? Okay, so now that we understand a bit about the functions of money and the difference of the difference between fiat money and cryptocurrency, and how cryptocurrency is formed, it's a type of digital money, we can start talking about blockchain. So I'm going to ask you to answer the following statement. So for you, what is blockchain? And for you, what is blockchain? What is not blockchain? So I'm going to give you a few minutes to think of, for you to answer. For me, what is blockchain technology? And for me, what is not blockchain technology? So I'm going to give you a few minutes to think about this and for you to answer these statements through the chat. Okay, what is blockchain for you and what is not blockchain for you? Okay, what do you think? You can share your answers through the chat. What is blockchain? What is not blockchain? Okay, Marta, you're thinking about database. Okay, you're very close. Like, yeah, like recording, registration. Okay, what else? Okay, a digital decentralized database, fast and easy at any place. Okay, what else? Okay. What else? What is not blockchain? Okay, blockchain is shared, unchangeable digital record system. It's fast. Okay. Marat, Mariam, Herbies. What else? What do you think? What is not blockchain? Okay, Marta, it's a technology. Herbies, blockchain is not the same as cryptocurrency. It's not the same, but they are connected. Okay, bank is not blockchain. Okay. Okay, thank you for sharing. I can see Marta was going to type another point. You can. Okay, so blockchain technology is, in a sense, the system that allows, it has a direct relationship with cryptocurrency because it's a system that allows cryptocurrency to work, right? And as Marta was saying, blockchain technology, we can say it's another way of record keeping. But I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to present to you the video that we have for this topic, and then we're going to come back and discuss it further. Your wallet is not blockchain. Thank you, Marta. Okay, so I'm going to share very quickly the video. Okay, In order to understand.
What is blockchain? The world has always needed to store and manage data in a certified, secure, and reliable way. But since this function has always been performed by imperfect humans or hackable centralized computer programs, it has always been a challenge. Now, with blockchain technology, this has completely changed. Blockchain technology based on cryptography, maths, and computing can have a decentralized structure, meaning that there is no central authority in charge. Instead, there is a group of computers, nodes, which serve to verify each other, and if one of the nodes stops working, the rest continue to work normally. They store and maintain unique data stored in blockchains. Through them, it is possible to transfer value securely online without the need for a middleman like a bank or a credit card company. Blockchain technology is what powers cryptocurrencies. In addition, anyone can view and verify the list of transactions, and if a node tries to manipulate it, it will cause the chain to break, and the whole network will see what happened. Taking all this into account, we are sure that we will continue to see more uses of blockchain in the coming years. That's for sure.
We cannot hear you.
Thank you, Marta. So, as Marta was sharing through the chat, we have always needed. So let's think back of on people bartering, right? When they were bartering for goods, to exchange goods, people always needed a form to register information, right? To record what was happening. We have always needed that. So, in a sense, in order to put it in simple words, blockchain is a different form of record keeping. So, before it was on paper, then we migrated. I mean, I'm jumping a lot of years here, but we migrated into computers. We started recording information in computers into the cloud. And blockchain, in a sense, it's like a more advanced a version of record keeping that allows us to register, to record all of the information, all of the transactions that are happening. So, as this video explains, when one transaction happens, this transaction is migrated into a block, which is uploaded into this new technology, and it is saved there. And not not any all of the users visualize this information, and no one can manipulate the information because it is completely decentralized. Now, I'm going to put it in simple words. Let's imagine, I'm going to give you an example. Let's imagine there's a shop owner that sells fruit, right? This owner buys fruit from a local farmer, and he buys this fruit from the local farmer in order to allocate this fruit into his shop. And then he sells this fruit to different customers, to different clients, right? So let's imagine that this shop owner has a notebook where he registers the amount of fruit, let's say apples, the amount of apples he receives, what how much money he paid for this apples, and he registered everything. And then he registers also the amount of money he sells, in which time period, and in which price. Let's say that this shop owner is really clumsy, so he was drinking his coffee and he spilled all of his coffee in this notebook, right? So all of the information, he only had one notebook, and all of the information he had in relation to the prices, in which he bought the apples and the prices and the money he received by selling the apples is registered in that notebook. So let's say he spilled all of his coffee, he can't access to that information anymore. Now, if he would have been using blockchain, he would have this he's let's say this is an example, but this notebook would be uploaded into the system, and even if he made a mistake, or yeah, even if he made a mistake, that information would be available for all of the people involved in the process. So the person that sold the apples and the person that bought the apples have the information on the prices, on the amount, on the time, and so on, because it's uploaded into the system. So even if the shop owner would want to modify something, or would want to, yeah, modify the amount of apples, or the amount or the price or the time, he would not be able to do that, because that information, if he would have been using blockchain technology, that record would be uploaded into the system and available for all of the users involved in the process, right? That's why they say blockchain is, we're going to discuss it tomorrow when we talk about risks, but it is more secure than fiat currency. Why? Because you can't modify the information that's on the system. Information can only be modified if there is a consent, if everyone agrees that that change needs to be done. But if only one member wants to do that, it's not possible, because that information, all of the information, is available for the different users involved. Now, I'm mentioning users in a way to start to understand this new technology, but it's not that Marta, Marat, and Maria are connected, and I mean, that we can see the information, but the information is represented, like the way blockchain works is, as I said, like when this transaction happens, this transaction is saved and uploaded into the system as a block. And in order, like the users, what I mean by users, the users are like the different computers that are connected and that visualize this information. You do have access to this information through different, like through the key that you will generate when you start using um, blockchain technology. But what I wanted to say is that it's not like that we're connecting, that Marta and Marat and Maria are at the same, like physical, yeah, like looking at each other and looking at the information. The information is processed um, in a different way, that in order to access that information, we also need codes and we need codes because of the cryptocurrency that supports this type of technology. So I'm going to stop here. I wanted to share like this quick example in order to put it in simple words of blockchain is another way of record keeping. It's like a different type of ledger, right? A ledger allows us to register information. Blockchain is another way we register information. Um, Now, it's in a sense, how detailed is the information in blockchain technology? Is it private or public? It is public. That's like that's why it is more secure, because everything that's uploaded, it's visual for the different members. But here's a tricky part, that in order to access specific information, you also need a code. And we're going to discuss it further. And that's why it's more secure, right? Because no one, I mean, you can visualize like the general information, but you can't access specific and particular information on of the different users that are on that new technology. And that's why it's secure, because you need that code. Um, yeah, let's say an example. I'm just going to give you a brief example. So I don't know if you recall, sometimes when there was a game where you could, this code where you had a code and you put like paint on it, and only if it had like certain materials you could see what was written on that paper sheet? I don't know if you had like this type of experience or something similar where you used, for example, a white color crayon, and you registered information on a paper. You wouldn't be able to see that information. But if you put on top black paint or a specific paint, a very special one, you were able to see this information. So in a sense, blockchain works like that. The information is there and it is visible for all of the system, but in order for you to access to specific and particular data, you need that code. You need like you need like that special paint to access that code. Um, and that code, Marta, each user has that code. Yeah. I'm putting it again, it is quite technical. These topics are very technical. So I'm trying to put it in simple words, but again, please let me know how you are like connecting the dots and what questions you have. Maybe some things are not going to be very clear right now, but they can start like once you connect and once we start discussing further, it gets clearer, right? But please keep doing questions and comments because as we said at the beginning, in order to learn, we do need to make questions and analyze and so on. We need to make it ours. So my invitation would be, yeah, for you to share your comments and your questions. This part of this, how and where do you get this code? So this, we're going to discuss it tomorrow when you open your account, you use a crypto wallet account. And in a sense, you have your your key in order to access all of the transactions related to your wallet account. And this wallet account has, in a sense, the code. But we're going to, if it's okay, I'm going to register this question, Marta, and we can discuss it further also with Mutembe tomorrow. Yeah, in order for him to say it in other words, and that could also help, uh, yeah, to understand it better. Um, okay, so after like talking a bit about blockchain, so I'm just going to present very quickly this part. Mm. So, as I was saying before, blockchain technology is the foundation for cryptocurrency. As we were looking at the video, blockchain technology is what powers cryptocurrency. Again, and note, it's not the only cryptocurrency is not the only usage of blockchain technology. Blockchain technology can also be used for other purposes. But blockchain technology stores records in multiple places at once. That's why we're saying it's a different way of record keeping. It's a different format of record keeping. Um, Meaning that instead of one person or database holding all the information, everyone has the same copy, which makes it decentralized. So let's go back to the example that I shared about the shop owner. Let's say the shop owner, what, let's think if he would have been using blockchain technology, the information he registered is visualized by the client and also by the seller of the fruit, right? So all of the information is available for all of the users involved in the process. Actually, not only for the users, but for the whole system, for everyone that is part of this blockchain technology. Okay. And that's why it is decentralized. Why? Because as we said before, um, it is decentralized because it is not controlled by a central authority or government. And as we said before, when one transaction happens, let's say um, that from my end, I send some money to Marta to her wallet. This transaction is going to be stored as a block, and that's why it's called blockchain technology, because each transaction is a block that it is connected. Once this transaction happens, this block is added to the chain. So we are connecting the different transactions in a in a blockchain. That's why it's called blockchain. And as I said before, I can't, if I'm a user, I can't just modify things because I want to, and that's why that's what makes it more secure. But if there is some information that needs to be modified, there needs to be a consent. Everyone involved needs to agree on this change. So blockchain has these main features that we have here. It is transparent because it can be visualized by all of the members involved. It is decentralized because, as we said before, it is not controlled by a central authority or government. Um, it is verifiable because everyone involved can access that information. Again, this is the tricky part, that you can access like the general information, but particular information, for example, yeah, very private information can only be accessed with a specific code. So this is the tricky part. Um, you need consent in order to modify anything. If you it need yeah, you need consent, and that's why usually there are no modifications, or it's not that frequent. And immutability is another feature, right? Again, talking about like the changes that you can do and that everyone can visualize the blocks that are part of this technology. Okay, so after starting to discuss about this new concept, I wanted to ask you, I'm going to just give me one sec. I'm going to give you a few minutes to go through the session of blockchain for you to read individually. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to go through the session and dive into like the definition of blockchain, how it explains it, and then we're going to come back. Okay, we're going to go work individually at this moment. Um, After that, we're going to take a quick break because I know we have been connected for a few minutes now, and I know it's tiring. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to do this, and then we're going to come back. Okay? So remember that in order to access this program, you need to access the second link, and this is the second session. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to start diving into the definition of blockchain.
Maria, share the link again, just in case if people have joined later, if they were, kind of kicked out of the internet, so technical glitches. So share the link again and maybe indicate the page so they know exactly what to review.
For sure, for sure. I'm going to tell you the page. Just give me one sec. It's session 2, but let me give you the specific page. Blockchain is page 11. I'm going to share it here. Okay. Thank you, Saida, for sharing the instruction.
How many minutes?
So let's say 5 minutes just for you to start like diving into the topic, and then we're going to come back. Okay.
Narrando.
Let me know if you are already finished or if we still have 1 or 2 minutes. We're going to dive into it a bit more, but just for you to go back to the program and look at how it is explained. Okay, who is already finished? Marat, are you finished? Marta? Elnas? Anna? Anna, you're already finished, right? Yeah.
Still reading, but it's okay. You can continue.
Marat, Marta.
We have to go right here or just.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But thank you for writing it though.
Okay.
Okay, what about the rest? Elnas, Mariam, Ervis,
I'm
Tatul.
still doing the lesson.
Okay, you're still going through the lesson. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick break. If you need a few more minutes, Elnas, to read the session, you can take it right now and continue reading. And then if not, we can allocate a few more minutes when we return. So we're going to take a quick break. Enjoy it. Try to move your body a bit if you can. Go for coffee, tea, whatever gets you powered and with energy. And then we're going to come back. So we're going to take a 10-minute break and then we're going to come back. Okay? Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is to practice your energizers. I don't know if you would like to try one or
Yeah,
Maria.
I know one just online.
Okay.
I'm not very in online energizers, but I know one that we should count from 1 till 11,
Okay.
but one by one, and no one should, I know it at the same time. Like two persons should not say, for example, 1 or 2. So one person should say only one number, for example, 1 and 2 and etc. Like till 11. And yeah, clear.
Okay, perfect. And everyone needs to participate, right?
Yeah, and everyone needs to participate. And if someone, like, if for example, 2 persons says or 3, like 2 at the same time, we start again. So it means we should say once only one number, and it doesn't matter which one it will be.
Okay, perfect. You tell us when to start.
Oh, I can also turn on the camera. Yeah, I can. So when I will say we can start, and someone who would like to be the first then can continue. So yeah, we can start.
1,
2.
3.
Okay, again.
So we need to start again, right? Because
Yeah.
someone, okay.
1.
2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7.
7.
8.
No, we were so close.
Yeah. Yeah, we can start again, I think.
Okay, one last time. Let's try it one last time.
Yeah.
1.
2.
3. 4.
4.
We were close. Thank you, Mariam. Okay, thank you. I don't know. Do you want to try it last time?
If you
Do
want,
it,
maybe.
or we can leave it for the next time. We can.
A
I
keyword
mean,
notes.
I think it helps when it's online that you can see when the person is going to unmute herself or when you see they're going to start talking. So it makes it easier online.
Yeah.
That's the advantage. But thank you, Mariam. I think we're going to go back to the presentation and then in another moment we can try another energizer. But thank you for leading this one. Okay, so we're going to come back. We were discussing blockchain. As we were saying, it's a decentralized energizer. Exactly. Thank you, Marta. So as we were saying, a bit about blockchain. Blockchain is what powers cryptocurrency, right? Blockchain is this technology where if we have a specific transaction, this transaction is saved in a block, and this block is visualized by everyone. Everyone has a copy of this block, of this information. I also wanted to highlight that blockchain works since it's decentralized, it works through a peer-to-peer system, right? It's not managed by a central authority, government, bank, or institutions of this sort. And how it happens is that if Maria wants to send a tool a specific amount of money, this transaction happens between us two, right? It is peer to peer. That's what makes it secure. It's visualized whatever, like if I buy something, if I send Tatul money, that transaction is going to be saved in a block, and Tatul and we are going to be able to see that information, and all of the users in a sense are going to see that that happened because it is going to be saved in the system. So it is important to mention that this part that it happens peer to peer. That's why it is also considered decentralized. And that's why we're going to discuss it tomorrow, but that's why it is said that it is more secure. Still, we would need to discuss further because it is not regulated. And still, even if it works with cryptography, which are this mathematic algorithms and system that allows blockchain to work, it still can be, in a sense, hacked sometimes, right? So we need to be aware of this as well. Um, okay, so I'm going to ask you after reading this session, um, in general, like with your own words, what is blockchain similar to? I'm going to share these questions, and I'm going to invite you to share your answers through the chat, or you can also turn on your mic and share how you're integrating the information and how you're seeing it right now. So the questions are, what is blockchain similar to? What is blockchain different to? What are the principal features of blockchain technology, and what are some of the benefits you think blockchain might have, or the challenges? So right now, while we start like tiptoe diving into this topic, what do you think might the challenges what challenges do you think blockchain can have, or what benefits do you think it can have? So you can answer any of these questions. The idea is for you to start integrating the information and to start creating your own conclusions. So I'm going to give you a few minutes for you to yeah, to think about these questions. You can turn on your mic or also share it through the chat. I'm going to give you a few minutes. So after diving in, looking at the video, going to the session, through the session, going through the PPT? What do you think? Anna, you were going to say something? No? You have your mic on to be ready if you want to share something on the spot. Thank you, Anna. Okay, so what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Okay, for me, blockchain is similar to the database which we are using in the country level. For example, between the ministries, for example, it can be clusters in the scope of child protection database, all vulnerability database, and everybody see the information, but no sources from which. And I'm not sure all countries are using this, but in our countries, we have centralized database for in order to see the level of vulnerability, which is using by Ministry of Labor Social Affairs, for example. For me, similar to this database. And in some countries, I know that it, for example, maybe in EU, it can be also between the countries.
Okay, so what you're saying, the similarity is that everyone can see like the general like what's happening. You
Information,
don't see
yeah,
the details, but you see what happened, right, in the system.
yeah.
In other words, okay. Thank you, Anna. What else? Thank you, Anna, for sharing. Mariam, you wanted to share?
Yeah, so maybe it's like a shared document. When some, for example, people, how say, users can see like the document, but they can't delete it or control it, but it's visible. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, when you share some document, but share as a not as an editor, but as a how say a user who can only see or yeah to,
Mm-hmm.
to see it.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for sharing. And
That's kind of
Marat is also sharing like something similar, right? When you work in one document with trace control, you can see what's happening. Now, the difference is, as we have been mentioning, if a change wants to be applied, everyone, the majority needs to agree on it. So the difference here is, as Mariam was saying, this would be a file where like you can only visualize a transaction. And if you want to do some changes, then you need to get all of the users in consent in
yeah,
order
you should
to
ask.
exactly
Yeah.
exactly permission to edit
Mhm.
in a sense. Thank you very much. Here we have, for example, Elnas was answering the last questions. The challenge you're asking, even sanctions will not control the transactions. Is it safe even at war times? Yeah, where it's said that it is decentralized, that no one, that, yeah, it is not controlled by a central authority, but as we said before, it can be hacked sometimes, right? It is more complicated, but it can happen. So this is also like a disadvantage. Um, okay, what else? How do you see it? Anything else?
So the difference is that it's very different from the how say traditional money. Yeah, from paper money. And what would be the benefits? Maybe it's like safety, I don't know, or security.
Safety, security, that everyone can access it, right? It is more rapid since it is not controlled by a bank, then the
Yeah.
transaction is immediate, right? I don't know if it has happened to you that sometimes you want to do a transaction with your bank account and it takes a few hours to be processed and so on. When we use blockchain technology, it is faster because Again, it is peer to peer. It is not controlled by any central authority. It doesn't have to go through different authorization steps. So it makes it faster. Um, Marta is responding to the last questions. Not everyone is familiar with these new technologies, and there's a high probability of digital exclusion. Exactly, and that's why we're here, because we want to provide this literacy, these foundations to our young learners. Um, yeah, that sometimes because of like through the different means and through different social media, they receive a lot of information on it and not necessarily the accurate information. Okay, so how are we? I wanted to ask you here. Now, we already started diving into blockchain a bit. I mean, I know it's for some of us, for some of you, it's the first time you start discussing this topic. So it takes time to connect the dots. The important thing is to start making connections, to start registering your questions and make them in order to start understanding it better. Um, but now that we went through blockchain, um, we're going to dive into cryptocurrency. So I'm going to ask you to look at this image and tell me through the chat with this, with which image you feel identified when you hear the word cryptocurrency. What type of Homero are you? um, which one Yeah. With which one do you relate when you hear the word cryptocurrency? You
Maybe
can be
three.
completely honest. Okay. Mariam is like, okay, let's
It's like
see what's
still
this.
exploring.
Okay, in exploration. Thank you, Mariam. What else? Who else would like to share? Let me open the chat. Okay, we have some nines. Okay, like yay. Tatul 6. Okay, confident. Okay. Uh, 3, thinking again. Marta, 4, like, what's this? Okay, what else? Irby's a 3. Okay. Anyone wants to share a bit, like, how do they feel, yeah, when they hear the word cryptocurrency? Okay. Thank you for sharing with this image. So I want to ask you, what are your ideas around cryptocurrency? What have you heard about cryptocurrency? I'm going to ask you to share what have you heard or what do you know about cryptocurrency through the chat. Okay, big money that you can get. You mean like getting rich, like that you can get rich? Okay. Future money, that this is a future for money. What else? What ideas do you have around cryptocurrency? What you have you heard about it? Not legal. Exactly, it's not legal. This is really very
Uh,
important to note. What else?
I have heard and seen that sometimes my friends are playing some games and they're collecting something and then they're making or they're exchanging it with this crypto or something like that. Yeah, I still don't understand it, but yeah, they say that it is money.
Okay, so that they are playing games and they also do exchanges with cryptocurrency, like through online
Y-
platforms?
Yeah, something like that, I think. So,
Okay, okay. I hope that after this training, Mariam, you can go with those friends and say like, "Hey, these are the risks, these are the advantages, this is how you can use it." Okay, some examples like Bitcoin, Elnas. Bitcoin is like the one of the main cryptocurrencies because it was the first one. We're going to discuss it further, and it's since it was the first one and the power it has and how it has been created is it is one of the most expensive ones. Marad, you see it as opportunity. Okay, this is interesting. Um, I think young people also see it as opportunities to to gain money, as Marta was saying, like an opportunity of to yeah, different opportunities. We're going to discuss it further because it has its um yeah, related elements, right? It can be it can access you to different opportunities, but you also need to be aware of the risks and how to use it safely. For the high rollers, risk takers, the value of it changes day by day, Ilnas. That's true. It is it is very it changes because it depends on the value people give to that specific cryptocurrency. So since it depends on the value that people give to this type of cryptocurrency, it can change from one, not even day, from one second to another, and very rapidly and very dramatically. So that's very important to note. Um, Okay, thank you very much for sharing a few ideas related to this new concept. I'm going to ask you, we're going to do a quick exercise of standing up. So I'm going to ask you share a few statements, and if you think that statement is true, so this is a true or false activity, I'm going to ask you to stand up. If you think the statement is false, I'm going to ask you to stay where you are seated. Okay, so here's the first statement. Um, Cryptocurrency is a digital currency. Is it true or is it false? If it's true, I'm going to ask you to stand up. Okay, Elnas, Marat, Marta, okay, Saida, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So, as we said, when we were looking at the evolution of money, cryptocurrency, it is a type of digital currency, right? It is a type of digital currency. The difference is it is not fiat money. It is not fiat currency. Remember that currency is yeah, this type of in other words, money, what we use in order to exchange. It's a medium of exchange in order to store value. Um, so cryptocurrency is a type of digital currency, but it is not controlled by a central authority or central institution or bank. Okay, Bitcoin isn't a cryptocurrency. I think these are too easy. Is it true or false? Okay, Elnas. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. As we were saying, it was the first one. It is really expensive, and it is one of the principal cryptocurrencies that we have in the market. Um, and the next one, the last one, is cryptocurrency can be traded. True or false? It is true. Okay, thank you. Would someone want to explain why do you think cryptocurrency can be traded? Or explain further? Don't rush.
Maybe it has some value, which raises its price or something like that.
Okay, thank you very much, Marianne, for sharing. So, as we have been saying, cryptocurrency is a digital currency, right? In another way a, a, a different format of money, right? That it is not controlled by a central authority. So cryptocurrency allows us to buy different services, buy different products, allows us to make transactions in order to yeah, buy products and services. So that's why cryptocurrency can be traded. It can be exchanged, so you can send cryptocurrency to others. We're going to look at it tomorrow, of how cryptocurrency is like the type of digital currencies. But as you have already been sharing, there are different types of cryptocurrencies. We have Bitcoin, we have others. I forgot the names right now, but there are different names and different types of cryptocurrencies. So you can also trade among the different cryptocurrencies that you have, and you can use cryptocurrency to buy services and goods. So that's important to note. Okay, so we're going to do a quick exercise right now in order to dive into the program again. we have a session on cryptocurrency, which is session 3. So what we're going to do is I'm going to divide you into, we're going to split into 3 groups right now. We're going to work in groups, and I'm going to give you 10 minutes to read the, I'm just going to present my, just very quickly, my PPT. Oh, no. Okay. So can you see my screen? But you're not, no, let's see.
Yes.
Let me see. I want to present the PPT. Okay. Okay. So in the crypto currency session, we have an expert cards activity. Who is familiar with this exercise of expert cards? Is someone familiar with this type of expert cards? No, it's new. Okay, so expert cards is this activity where we divide participants into different groups and we give each group a card with information. We ask them to read this information to understand it, because then they're going to go to the other group, to another assigned group, to explain what they had in that card. Okay, in simple words. So what we're going to do is that right now we're going to work in breakout groups, and I'm going to allocate, since it's a small group, I'm going to we're going to split into 3 groups, and 2 groups will have 2 cards, and I'm going to ask you to go to the card that has been assigned to you, read it, and then we're going to come back to this main room, and one representative of each team will explain the card, the information that you have in your card, in the card that was allocated to your team. Okay? Is it clear? Do you have any questions? You want to already start doing the activity? Do you have any questions on it? Yeah? So, Elnas, I don't know if you can share what we're going to do right now, just to make sure it's clear.
Yes, you're going to read the cards in groups, and then we need to explain it in a simple words for all or for other groups.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Elnas. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to do the breakout rooms. Just give me one sec. We're going to do 3 groups. And group 1 will have, I'm going to send it to, wait, through the chat. So group 1 will have card 1 and 2. Group 2 will have card 3 and 4. 3 and 4. And group 3 will have card 5. Okay? So we're going to do, as I said, we're going to, I'm going to give you 10 minutes for this. If you need more time, I'm going to touch base after 10 minutes and see if you need a few more minutes, or we can return to the main room. Okay? Are you ready? Are you ready? Yay! Or not that much? Okay, I'm going to send you to the groups. So you're divided. It doesn't say group 1, it's room 1. So room 1, it's the same as group 1. Okay, so just to make sure it's clear, Ingrida, Marat, Marta, and Marta will be doing card 1 and 2. Ervis, Mariam, and Romualda you're going to do card 3 and 4. Ana, Elnas, and Tatul, you're going to do card 5. Okay? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to open the rooms. Okay, so we're going to come back. Okay, so we're going to wait. I think we're all here now. I'm glad. Okay. Thank you. So thank you for coming back. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick energy check just to see how we are, how are we doing. So I'm going to ask you to rate with your fingers how much energy you have right now. So 5 is like, I have a lot of energy, Maria. I want to read all the book right now. I even want to go and have a run. Elnas was running with Elnas. That's a lot of energy. 4 is I have energy, but I'm paying attention, but not that much in order to run. 3 is okay, I'm listening, but I'm getting a bit tired. 2 is I'm really hungry right now or sleepy. I'm not that into the activity. And 1 is I already left Maria a few minutes ago. I only see your mouth move and I'm not paying attention. So you can be completely honest. I won't be offended. So how's your energy right now from 5 to 1? How are you? Okay, 3, Marat, you're still here, but you're almost okay. Elna's 3. What about the rest? Okay, Mariam, Ervis, okay. What about the others? Ana, Marta, Tatul, was it a 4? Okay, Romualda 3. Okay, Marta. 3 or 4? You're in between, okay? Okay, I'm glad. Okay, thank you for sharing. Okay, so thank you very much for sharing your level of energy. So, what we're going to do is right now, I'm going to ask one representative of each team to share very quickly, like what they had in the card that was allocated to them. Let's try to be clear, concrete, and also if you have questions when related to that information, please do share. And for the others, if you have questions in relation to that card, please do share. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to ask team 1 to present. Let's see who wants to present from team 1.
I can say
I
that
will.
that team 1 was Marat, Ingrida, and Marta, but I think Marat has the has the most fantastic knowledge about these topics. So if it's possible, can you, Marat, try to
It's
explain?
possible. Yeah, it's possible, but I will prefer it for you to talk.
Uh,
What you understand. Yeah, that's why I'm a little bit familiar with this. It's easy for me to understanding this part, and that's why I will prefer Marta to talk.
but Marat,
I will help, of course. Yeah, for sure I will help
if
you.
you want, Marat, you can start and then someone from your team can complement. What do you think?
No problems. I can start. Let me
Go ahead. You had
open the
the
cards.
card with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. Like cryptocurrency is from my side of view, cryptocurrency is future money and it's digital money and it's one of the good things that it's not controlled from any country or any government. It's very secure to use, but they have the risks. You need to do research in which wallets to use to have cryptocurrency there, and it's not like the traditional payments that you need to wait for the bank to start working and etc. It's 24/7 working. You just need to have internet. That's a good point. Anything else I need to add?
I
Marta,
think
did I need to
Marta,
add anything?
would you like? I think you also had the card related to Bitcoin. Is it right?
Bitcoin, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency. It's like creation date is 2009. Until now, no one knows who is the creator. Yeah, we are saying it's Satoshi, but no one see him. No one knows is the creator are still alive or no. and he has one of the biggest wallets in the world of holding Bitcoin, and after it's not changed even to 0.1 Bitcoin. It's never changed till the until the 2009, and we didn't even know it will changed or it's lost wallet. And also you can mine Bitcoin, but you need to have good inventory for doing this mining, and you are solving like this difficult mathematical transactions or something like this to mine Bitcoin. That's it.
Thank you very much. Marat, have you used cryptocurrency? So have you
Yes.
used it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still using.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing, Marat. Did any question emerged along the way when discussing cryptocurrency and Bitcoin? Or any comment, I don't know, from the team? Yeah, Marta?
I've asked Marat if I have a wallet, can I put, for example, Bitcoin and different kind of crypto in the same wallet? Because for me it was not so simple to understand. But yes, I can have one wallet with many cryptocurrencies. And for example, we had a great discussion about USDT. I'm not sure if I remember correctly. It's the same as dollar, and it changes USDT, yes. And it's very popular too. And for example, for example, football teams create tokens, which are like crypto currency too. So quite interesting like area for me. And probably after this meeting, Marat will help me to create the wallet.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Marta. Just as a quick note, remember that we're not promoting its usage. It's just to understand how it works from the Aflatun side. Thank you for sharing. And yes, just to clarify, Marta, as you said, right now it still works like that. Marat, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you use cryptocurrencies, you need to use normal money, like fiat money, regular money as we know it, in order to buy a specific cryptocurrency, and then use that cryptocurrency in order to, if you want to buy something, a service or a good. So it is still connected with fiat currency. So this is important to note, right? So still, I mean, some maybe this will change. I think this will change in the future. That's my personal opinion. But right now it is still connected, so it is also important to clarify that in order to open a wallet and in order to buy a specific cryptocurrency, you do need to buy it with fiat currency. Um, and just also to put it in simple words, so cryptocurrency in a way is, as Marat was explaining, is money expressed in a different format, right? So we were discussing that fiat currency is like the regular money that we know. It's this money that's issued by government, by regulated institutions. It doesn't have a limited supply because it's regulated by these institutions that define how much to print out, right? Depending on the value that they give to this money, uh, depending on the market, I mean, and the regulations. But fiat money is how we know it, like the regular, the normal money that we know. And in a sense, cryptocurrency is this type of digital money that has like the main characteristics of regular money, remember that we said that it's a medium of exchange that we can use in order to acquire goods and services. It is approved by others, and that's why we can use it to buy different things in different places of the world. It stores value because it can be, its value doesn't change. It stores value because it keeps value in itself, right? And you can use it for different purposes, and it's a unit of account. So in a sense, cryptocurrency has the main, like this main features that fiat currency has, but the main difference is that it works in a decentralized system. Fiat currency works in a I'm sorry, I said decentralized. In a fiat currency works in a centralized system, and cryptocurrency in an decentralized system, right? Because it doesn't have a central authority that regulates it. And just as a quick note, also to mention, as we were saying that fiat money, for example, talking about, I don't know, dollars, euros, it doesn't have a limited supply because it depends on yeah, on the value in the market, and that's why that's what regulates how much it should be printed out. For cryptocurrency, for most cryptocurrencies, there is a limited supply. Right. So, for example, for Bitcoin, there's a specific number of Bitcoins that exist. And once they are like, they are used all of them, and yeah, and spend they are done, right? So it's limited. That's also a very important characteristic to note between the two of them. So in simple words, that this helps me personally to understand it better. Cryptocurrency is another format of money. Let's talk about that, like another format, right? It's digital, but we also have all the other digital formats of money that are not cryptocurrency, right? We're talking about, for example, cards or banking, that these are still centralized. Cryptocurrency is completely decentralized because it works in blockchain technology. Um, okay, is there any question in relation to this, to what we have been sharing? Really remember, this is a safe space. These are like very technical topics, and the important thing is for you to start connecting it with the information you already have, the experiences you have. um, so is there any question about this? Any comment? Are you excited? You're like, no, I don't like this new technology. Any thoughts, any question, or we move with the next team? Okay, so we're going to move. Marta, you're sharing. I'm constantly trying to simplify this knowledge into plain language for myself, attempting to compare definitions, for example, cryptocurrency, currency, wallet, wallet bank, another virtual institution where I hold my cryptocurrency, but I still don't know if it's the right way to name the things. In fact, it's a different language and a different formula. As we were saying at the beginning, this is a different language, and we need to learn this new language, right? Um, and learn about these new technologies. I think it does help to put it in simple words, but still we need to be mindful of the limitations when we do this, right? For example, if we use the example that we discussed earlier about the shop owner, we need to understand like this is an example that can help us visualize the process, but it has limitations in itself, right? So it's important just to note that. Um, and about the language, cryptocurrency is currency. So cryptocurrency, in a sense, it's currency. We do use wallets, and we're going to talk about them tomorrow. We use crypto wallets, which is like, in a sense, your account that allows us where you're going to hold your cryptocurrencies. Um, so yeah, the different concepts that you're identifying, Marta, please do share them in order to just check if they are related to it. And tomorrow also with Mutembe, we can discuss them further, and also with Marat. Okay, so I'm going to give the turn to team 2.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mariam.
Yeah, our topic, wait, I will see. Yeah, it was differences between sorry. It was advantages and disadvantages of the cryptocurrencies. So the advantages of cryptocurrency is that it is decentralized and not controlled by any government or company. and making it more secure. Transactions are recorded in a databases, but the personal information is not shared. So it's safe, and you can send the cryptocurrency to anyone. And cryptography protects your funds with strong mass codes. Disadvantages of cryptocurrency is that prices can like change every time, like very quickly in months or in hours, and it's causing gains or losses, mistakes, or sometimes we can make mistakes during the transfers, and it causes problems. So if our security is weak, someone can steal our cryptocurrency, and if we lose our case, no one will help us because yeah, it's impossible to recover it. Then there was differences between cryptocurrencies and fiat. So blockchain is like a digital ledger that records all the cryptocurrency transactions in like blocks, and it's linked in order. There is no central authority, as I said already, and everyone using the cryptocurrency, everyone can see the cryptocurrency transfers, I mean, and each block has a unique code and stores a certain amount of information. Cryptography uses the mass codes, which is called like hashes, to keep these transactions safe. And these hashes, I think I pronounce it's is it correct to pronounce it as a hashes because it was the first time?
Hash.
Yeah, hashes. Hashes link the blocks together, making it very secure and almost impossible for hackers to, I don't know, to change it. And they also act like the passwords to protect the information. And yeah, this was shortly to describe our cards.
Thank you, Mariam, for presenting. Okay, is there any question, any thoughts in relation to these points about the advantages, disadvantages, also like the differences that we already discussed related to fiat currency from the team or from the other team members? No? Everything clear? Or everything is sinking in?
And I had only question, like, for example, if hackers cannot actually, hack your account, but here in disadvantages, it was written here, if you don't have the correct security, like, what does it mean, correct, how we should create the correct security?
Here, if you don't have the correct security, another user can steal cryptocurrency. So, as we were mentioning before, cryptocurrencies can be hacked. Blockchain technology can be hacked. It is more complicated than in regular transactions, but it can. So, for example, as we were saying, you do have like a specific code to access that specific information. You do have a specific key in order to do this transactions. So, if you don't, also it's like first you need to be here. It says in disadvantages, like you need to be fully aware that if you lose your key or any information related to that. Usually, when you use regular money, you have the bank and you can call and you can say, like, hey, can you support me? In these cases, you don't have the central authority. So one disadvantage is that they cannot follow up if you lose your key or if you have any complications on the process. Now, here in disadvantages, it also talks about when since it works in a like through computers and through a digital system, if you're also connected, for example, through a public internet connection, or you don't have like the um, newest like security protocols in your computer, this can also cause insecurity in the process. But still, again, it is really important to highlight it is more secure than other transactions, but it can be hacked. So that's important. It's more
Yeah.
difficult to happen, but it can happen. Um, so as you were saying, Mariam, it is important to note that one very important disadvantage to mention is this rapid and dramatic change that cryptocurrency can experience. I can say from my own experience that I also, as Marat, I once opened an account with my family and so on, and I bought a specific cryptocurrency that right now it doesn't exist. So we do need to be aware of this constant changes that cryptocurrency can experience. As you said, unexpected prices changes. There can be problems when transferring money, errors in the address. Since if you don't put the correct address, your money can be lost, and there is no central authority that can support you with this. As well with the key, as we already mentioned. And yeah, the correct security, what we were mentioning about like the main security that you need, since this is completely digital and works in a, a digital system. Okay, so
Thank you.
any other question? Yes, Maria.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so we can move to the next team, who had the usage of cryptocurrencies. Who would like to present from team 3? Don't rush. Let's see. Team 3, we have Anna, Elna, Statul.
Oh, it is our team, yes.
It's your team.
I forgot it. Okay, we have discussion in group. It was a very interesting and active discussion, and team decided that I have to summarize our thoughts. Using of cryptocurrency. First of all, we are thinking that it is give more opportunities. It is about investment. We can invest it, we can trade it, and to have additional money, or it can be our main activity to have money. It is giving technical opportunity to transfer smart money because it is independent from banking system, and it is not it doesn't depend from working hours. For example, I mean bank working hours. We can organize international and global fast transfers. Security and transparency. We have talked about that in this webinar too. I think there is no additional information, but there is some challenges too, because cryptocurrency, it is not only Bitcoin or Solana or popular other coins. Cryptocurrency now in the market, there are a lot of cryptocurrency which don't have some stable value, and sometimes people can be as a victim in some processes. And about that, it is very important to have imagination, to have knowledge before starting use cryptocurrency. The main opportunities, it is smart, it is digital, it is have a more place for using. It is coming to be legal in more country from time to time, and now more part of governance coming to legalize it in our country. I think
Thank,
it's so.
thank you very much, Tatul, for sharing. Have you just a question? Have you used cryptocurrency, for example, from your own personal experience?
Yes,
Are you
but I'm trying to trade.
okay? Okay. And how has your experience been? Has it been positive, negative? If you want to share.
It is positive, but very small and beginner.
Okay. I think all of us uh, are beginners. Most of us, we start getting familiar with it if needed. But thank you for highlighting this part of. I think it's really important what you're mentioning of cryptocurrencies open opportunities, right? If it is used in a safe way, being mindful of the risks that are related, it can really open opportunities because it can connect you. As we said before, it works in a peer-to-peer system, so it can give you
Yeah,
the opportunity to exchange or yeah, interact with users around the world, right? With different yeah, users around the world. That's also something, an advantage to note, that since they don't like when you open an account in a bank, for example, they usually ask you like specific information, right, about your background, um, specific documentation. For cryptocurrency, it's it's changing in some cases for specific cryptocurrencies, but in general they don't ask you for specific documentation, so anyone can access to it. Now this is an advantage, but this can also be an disadvantage, right? But seeing it as an advantage, everyone can access it no matter your age or your background. It doesn't have like this limitation that sometimes bank have. But again, the disadvantage is that this regulation that banks usually give us, well, we don't have this regulation at the moment. I mean, this can change still. We don't know if it will. Um, but that's important to note. So thank you very much,
but
Tatul.
there is some points, you know, for having a success and security activities in the marketplace. You have to identification. You have to identify yourself, and for that needed some documents, passport, I don't know,
Exactly.
driving license, etc., etc.
Exactly.
Compare with bank system, bank transfer system. Uh, Crypto giving opportunity to pay a low money for transfers.
Exactly. It doesn't ask you for, yeah, big fee, that sometimes this limits people with different backgrounds or different characteristics to access this type of systems, right,
Mhm.
Atul? So in a sense, it's an advantage because it allows people, different, like all type of people, to access it, right?
It's advantage.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Tatul, for sharing. So, everyone, I have a great news. So, I can see that the energy, since it's the first day, and this is like quite technical, um, we are going to finish earlier. What we're going to do is that right now we're going to do a closing activity. Uh, but I am going to ask you to read a few materials from your end, to go through the program and also like the complementary materials that the program has in order to continue tomorrow with this. And to come tomorrow recharged with a lot of energy to keep diving into these topics and with a lot of questions. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you, we're going to do a few questions. Um, Individually, I want to ask you to note what's one thing that you have learned today. Okay, one learning from today, one personal connection from what we have been discussing today, something that relates with you in one sense, and one thing that it is still unclear. So it's one learning, one personal connection, like something that connected with you, um, and it can be in the personal, professional area, and and a question, something that's still unclear, that still, yeah, needs to be clarified and further discussed. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to note this down, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to ask you to share one of those points. You don't have to share all of them. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes for this. Once you're finished, just give me a thumbs up to know that you, for me to know that you are already finished. Okay,
Okay.
Anna, you're finished?
Yes, I need to run, honestly. I'd like to say, and okay, my
For sure.
apologies. Okay, I am familiar with Aflatun methodology, Energize, what is close to me. I learn about cryptocurrency and understand what does it mean to be decentralized. But for me, the terminology, but some things have been clarified by Tatul Marad, my colleagues during break. But still, blockchain for me, it's still, and I try to review today more, maybe for tomorrow I'll be more well prepared. I'm going to review again lessons sessions 1, 2, 3. And my apologies, I have to run. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna, very much. And just as a quick note, yes, if you could, so the homework would be to go through the first 3 sessions, the content and the infographics. So at the end of each session, you're going to find a QR. The QR, I understand, Marta, you tried it before. It doesn't give you access to the infographic? Just to double check. Or Saida?
I'm gonna check now as well. Give me 1 sec. Maybe
Okay,
now.
thank you.
Let me see. So I'm
Check.
checking the one on page 21.
I couldn't open it.
Nope, it's not working. It's not
No?
opening.
Okay.
No.
So I'll check that. But
Me
in the
too. I also can't open. Yeah.
Okay, so in the meantime, just go through the first 3 sessions, please, and we're going to continue tomorrow. Okay? Thank you, Anna.
Some of them open. So for example, the one on page 29 is opening. 21 didn't open. So I think we might need to check one by one and see which ones are accessible and which ones are not.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you, Saida.
You're welcome.
Okay, so who else wants to share? One learning or personal connection, one question?
Paka Anca.
Tatul, would you like to share?
Okay, let's try. What I learned today. First of all, it's interesting your method for learning because most part of information I was familiar with most part of information. For me, it is coming to structure in my mind. It is my benefit from this training. What is ununderstandable for me? Let me say that there is no topic today which I can't understand. Yeah. Today I noticed that differences between names Marat of Marta, it's order late 2 words, A and T. it is the new from training.
That's
It's a joke.
that's
It's a joke.
that's one learning.
It's my
Thank
personal
you.
connection to this training.
Thank you, Tatul, for sharing. I'm glad that it's glad to hear that you already have that background, and that you're structuring, again, because in a way, since it's a very technical topic, okay, so it is important for us to understand it and then also to have different tools to explain it in a very simple way to our learners. So I'm glad that this helped for this purpose. And again, please feel free, like the knowledge that you have and the experiences, to bring it to the group to learn from each other. And thank you, Tatul, for sharing. Okay, who else wants to share?
Can I?
Is Elna? Who is so Elnas and then Marat? Go ahead.
The explanation about blockchain was interesting for me, that it's not just for money and it can be used for other systems. It's a kind of system. I didn't know about it. it was a learning for me. And also, I have many more learnings than questions for now. And also the energizers, online energizers was interesting for me. I didn't know about it. I didn't tried it before. And one of my questions that I think you will cover tomorrow is how to deal with that. You know, because I live in a country with sanctions and all the problems with using international monies and also other currencies. So it's a question for me that because we have this like limitations, is it fine to talk about it with our kids and children in school or in Aflatun classes, or no, or just knowing about it is enough for them?
So your question, Elnas, just to make sure I got it, is more on like how are we going to talk about this program and to whom are we going to target through it, right? Like to which
Yes.
type of students and okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to clarify this part, as we were saying at the beginning, we're not promoting its usage, since we're not promoting its usage in any age and especially not at early age. So the suggestion from Aflatun would be to apply this program when they are requesting, when we see the need in order to provide this information to our participants. But it is important to ensure that they do have foundations on financial literacy and that they have taken a part or a specific book related to Aflatun, to ensure that they have the foundations of financial literacy. So from our end, it would be if we see the need, if we are looking at our participants that they have been raising questions on it, or we're looking that they are starting to trade without knowing or without having a certain information, or that, for example, it has happened in some countries. It happened in El Salvador, Latin America, that the government established a policy where people could like receive a specific amount of money through cryptocurrency. So in these cases, it is suggested, but we need to be really cautious and really careful. If you need also further support from Aflatun, we can also provide that guidance on it. But it is important to note also, just to give the turn to Saida, like to note like the legal and political situation of your country before implementing the program. Yes, Aida.
That's the one I want to add, Elma. So, as Maria said, it's not a requirement from Aflatun side. So you've been implementing all of Aflatun programs from the ages of 3 all the way to 24. When it comes to this supplement, so in a way, cryptocurrency is not a core program of Aflatun. It's a supplement. It's a additional program we created as a project first. But since some of the partners were inquiring about it, we're also opening it up to the partner network. But basically, it was a project for Orca. So this funder who hired us to develop this project for them. But again, as she said, you have to be very careful. Before anything else, you have to know the regulations in the country. Because again, it's going to come to you at the end of the day, because you are the one who will be implementing it. You're the one who will be promoting it across your classrooms, across your clubs. So it's that's why we don't kind of make it a requirement, or we don't encourage the partners to implement. So first and foremost, we're providing it to your information, to your knowledge, to your acquaintance on there is this program that's out there. The knowledge we're providing for you to know what it is, how it's implemented, how it's used, what can you do with it for personal reasons, for professional reasons, anything that you would see it interesting. But when it comes to your classroom and your students, your audience, it's you as a teacher assessing the needs of it, but before anything else, making sure that it's legal. Again, you're going to be in a big trouble if you're promoting something that is not exercised on a professional level or on an official level across the country, because it is again an educational program. No, so you have to make sure. You said sanctions. Definitely, we all know it's been on Iran for decades, more than a decade now. So you have to know, right? If it's, and also this is something to raise it tomorrow to Motambe. He's an expert on cryptocurrency, right? So what are the implications if it is, again, first of all, make sure it's legal to teach or to educate about this topic. Secondly, what are the implications of the sanctions that are present at the moment across Iran, right? So also for you to know before you spread it out to your students, to your audience in a way. So all these technical questions you may have, and Marat, also you seem to be very knowledgeable about the introductory part of this course. Tomorrow, as Maria said, we will have an expert who's been practicing this for years, so he knows in and out of this exercise or this topic or this theme and how it's worked around in general. So gather all these very detailed technical questions you have to him, and he can explain it to you further as well. So when it comes to sanctions, for example, this would be the question to raise towards him and see what are the implications of it if you choose to use it in your classroom, let's say. So tomorrow and a day after, we will have Motambe, who's an expert on cryptocurrency and blockchain. And a lot of these things we developed, he had a contribution to it. So he knows the implications or the detailed knowledge and information around this thematic. Okay?
Thank you, Saida. Thank you, Elnas, for your question. Okay, so Marat, you were next.
Yeah, I will be short. I for after today's training, I learned easy explanation of blockchain, like key language, how to deliver it to other people. And for the personal connection, yeah, it's like with Marta with 2-letter difference. And no any questions, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marat. And as I was saying, Tatul, also to bring all of the experience you have and all of the knowledge on this topic to enrich the team also with what you already know on this. So thank you very much for sharing. Okay, Ervis, go ahead.
Even though these were, I mean, especially for the blockchain, it was a new topic for me. I had some information about cryptocurrency, and I found these lessons so far very good ones. And thank you for your presentations, and looking forward to learn more about it. So it's very well organized, even from your side.
Thank you. Thank you, Ervis. Thank you very much.
I have to leave now. I have to
Okay.
go. I have to go.
Okay. Okay.
Time. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Okay. Marta?
I think she's on her way getting home. Marta, can you talk right now?
Yes, I can. I can, but I had a technical problem with the mobile. Okay, so first of all, I have a lot of questions about cryptocurrencies after today's meeting, but I can see a very simple way how to explain to children in a simple language very difficult and new definitions. So in this first session, I saw very nice example of history that we can use during our lessons, and of course, I'm still a little bit worried about questions, how deep these questions can be from children, because, for example, in high school, they could have a much bigger knowledge about crypto than me. So this is my the biggest fear that we need to be very well prepared to start the discussion. And I don't think that this manual will give me this knowledge. It will give me only the way how I can start the topic with children. But of course, I need to have my own knowledge, and the team need to have it. So if we want to, we don't need to be an expert, but of course, we need to have um, basic knowledge about this topic. Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you very much, Marta, for highlighting these points. So, just wanted to mention from our end, the program, I do understand your concern. It is explained in very simple words, and in order to explain it, we also, like as adults, we need to like enter more in detail, right? So, we are going to suggest at the end on day 3, but we can share it also tomorrow, like a few platforms that are refutable, that are accurate, and that can provide us very user friendly very user friendly information related to these topics. So one is, for example, Binance Academy has like different videos and articles, very simple, but very detailed at the same time, that can help us understand the topic more. So we are going to share this resources for you, for all of you to know where to find this information, and also for you to know that the program has a sheet of questions and answers that are frequently asked by people that are learning this process. So I know that you can't anticipate all of the questions that they can make us, but we can have a sense of which are the main ones that usually start popping up in the process when we start approaching these new topics. So also for you to know that this is part of the complementary materials. And Saida, you're raising your hand. Go
Super
ahead.
quick, yeah. But then Martha, right? Like the way we teach our courses or these lessons, it's two-way, right? So we not only come as a teacher or know it all and trying to spread the knowledge to the students, but also we're learning from them in a way. So we can also approach this from the perspective of we're here to learn from each other. And as an expert, Maria leading the training, me, I've attended this training already once. It doesn't mean that I have kind of absorbed everything and I'm ready to go on the ground and do the training. We would never be the case. The landscape changes every day. There's new crypto, like I also do some crypto exercises. I have some crypto. Every day there's a new one that's being introduced. Yeah, so again, it doesn't mean that I would be up to date, that I would know everything that's related to it. And it's okay to say, hey, I don't know, it's something new to me. Let me do my research and come back to you. Or let's hear your side of the perspective and what you know about it, and then we can come in and discuss it together in a way. So we can kind of perceive it the same way as we do for anything else in Aflatun programs and methodology we use in a way. But yeah, as Maria said, there's a lot of resources that Aflatun will be sharing together with the main curricula that we'll be providing to all the participants and partners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you for highlighting this point. I think, Saida, that when we're trainers, and not only with this technical part, like when we get ourselves in the same level than they are, that like we're also learning and we're in this process, that also helps the learning environment, and that also helps them get engaged and to understand that also to push them to be critical and to research and to look for answers, right? The important thing, and what we're going to guide them in, is to identify the resources in which they can find this information, right? This is the key, because sometimes they are looking information in platforms and in sources that are not accurate. So this is the key. um, Thank you very much, Marta, for raising these points. Mariam, did you already share it?
No, but yeah, I will say some few words that it was very interesting day for me, but my mind is still processing this information because it was very new. And I think after this meeting, me and ChatGPT will chat a lot tonight about this topic.
You're going to have a deep conversation. But
Yeah,
again, Mariam, just as noting, remember that ChatGPT doesn't always provide the accurate information. It
sure,
gets
sure.
information that's on the web. So just to be cautious in that
Yeah.
conversation.
I will
Check
take it with
Binance.
you also.
Yeah, check Binance Academy. It has a lot of videos and articles on it if you want to dive into it. And also, I know that some have already left, but as homework, I'm going to ask you to read the first 3 sessions, okay? The one that talks about money, blockchain, and cryptocurrency. And we're going to see each other tomorrow at the same time. With a lot of energy, a lot of questions and comments. And yeah, I'll leave you yeah, to go back to your activities. Thank you very much for your
Thank
time
you.
and for your attention, everyone.
See you all tomorrow.
Thank you
Use
too.
the same link, Tatu. So everybody, same link for 3 days workshop. So see you all tomorrow at 2 Central European Time.
Tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye.